two sides to every story.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really, I mean, I'm more than happy to sit down and talk to you. I'm not really sure, um, you know, what.
What I want to talk with you, I think landlords are given a bad name, especially the article that came out like a month ago in the paper. It's freaking a lot of people out.
Can I just explain something to you?
Sure.
That report was based around 3 top corporate slumlords in Lewiston.
And I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know that. But on the same token, this is why I would like to talk to you in person rather than over the phone. But what I was getting at on the same token, like as far as the cockroaches go, it needs to be the other side of the point of view where, like the tenant that you went to see yesterday, behind on their end,
Yeah.
I haven't evicted, like the tenant you went to see yesterday, if you noticed their apartment, how flooded it was, most of the furniture they were either given by people that already had bugs, okay? And that's the problem that a lot of landlords are having with bugs. They're brought to the building. Landlords don't bring bugs to the building.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what I see here in Lewiston is different. With I don't know how you are and when you've last treated, but
they were actually there today. They were there a month ago.
But what happens in Lewiston, especially here in the downtown, is that the buildings change hands so much. And for the very bad rep landlords, and we know who they are, they leave these buildings not treated, So
right. But there needs to be a little bit of tenant responsibility as well. And
there does. But can I just ask you to slow down for a little bit? I mean,
sure.
I don't think you understand exactly what it is that I do, and that's the problem. That I'm faced with being harassed on the street by landlords or being confronted this way.
I'd rather meet you in person because it's a lot easier to talk in person.
Yeah. But let me please try to explain something to you.
Sure.
What I do as a tenants' rights organizer is, sometimes direct service work, but I also help, tenants who are faced with some pretty crazy housing issues that haven't been addressed. But part of my job is community organizing and developing leadership in tenants that might not have that to begin with, I guess. So when I go to a tenant's house, it's a shared responsibility. Just because I'm a tenants' rights community organizer doesn't mean that I ignore their end of the bargain. I will call a tenant out for not holding up to doing their part, whether it's clutter, if they're not clean, if they're leaving dirty dishes, things like that. I teach pest prevention and other education classes, yeah. And we don't advise anybody to withhold their rent. So, I mean,
this I'm a very lenient, easygoing type of. I mean, I have people that owe me thousands of dollars that I have not evicted, and I try to work with people. I've loaned people money. These people think I'm a bank. I'm a counselor. I'm a shelter. There's electric that's in my name that they're not paying, and then when I give them an eviction, they get all pissed off, and well, what are you evicting me for? I'm going to take you to court for what? You're behind $2,000.
I think as a landlord, you have a responsibility to uphold, to make sure that you're checking references. And I get it, it's hard to hear people's stories. It's hard to hear if they're going through a hard time.
That's why I'd like to talk with you, because it sounds like that, like this, for instance, this one girl that we're talking about, she called you out of spite because she got into her and her boyfriend wanted. I mean, if it's so bad or whatever.
I don't really care about the ins and outs. What I care about is that.
Well, you should though. That's the point.
No.
You just can't go off bad-mouthing the landlord because you're having a bad day.
I don't think she ever bad-mouthed you. To me, personally, I mean, she was saying that you were doing a really good. You're really good and that you've helped them out a few times and things like that. So it's not like a slander campaign by all means. But I want you to understand that our target,